Like LeBron though, or like Lonzo. Ooh, I'm a baller, yeah, shot caller, yeah. They love me, you can't touch me, nah, can't trust me. I'm too lucky. Look at me, look at you, what you see, what you do. Baby, please think it through, drink it up, enjoy the view. MVP on my crew, Nike on my shoes. Might be sipping booze, slightly feeling loose. If I want it, then I have it.
Boom, boom, boom. This is Jared and I'm back. Hey guys, I'm the host of the Warriors Quest show, Jared A. Brown. And if you're new, all right, every week I have the opportunity, the privilege, all right, to interview a kidney disease warrior, a kidney disease patient, and get their story out, get their voice heard. All right. And so that's what we do. And that's what this show is all about. But you know what? I can't do this alone. So please don't be stingy. All right. Please don't be stingy. Smash that share button. Smash it so that we can help this warrior, this kidney warrior, get this story out. All right. So, man, I'm so excited to do this. But if you're new, please hit the follow, hit the subscribe button, and help me help other people who are looking for a living donor. All right. All right. So here we go. All right. Man, I'm so excited to do this. So I've got a guest tonight, a special guest. All right. And the special guest is looking for a living donor. All right. And not only that, but it gives me an opportunity to share a story, share a story about overcoming, a story about what this person is battling with every single day. All right, because that's why I commonly call kidney patients warriors, because they battle every day. They've got those boxing gloves on. All right, who are we kidding? All right, they battle every day. So if you're watching now, all right, and you are a person who is on dialysis, if you're someone who's battling with chronic kidney disease, all right, please comment, because you know you battle every day. You know you've got boxing gloves on. Drop me a comment and let me know you hear me. All right, you feel me. All right, but you know what time it is. All right, it's the Warriors Quest show. All right, it's time for our special guest. All right, and I'm going to interview Noah. All right, and so we're going to get this story out there. I need your help. So please, when I do this VIP treatment, all right, we're going to do a VIP video intro. When I bring my special guest on, please, all right, give a very, very special or a very warm Warriors Quest Show welcome to my special guest, and just light up the comments. Light up the comments with words of encouragement, with words of support, so on and so forth, so that we get this just so active and where it's interactive and the engagement's there, that the algorithm is just bound to make this visible, visible to every single person because of how this works. Let's do this tonight. We can do great things when we work together. So here we go, go, go. All right. I'm going to play this video. I'm going to play this VIP video intro. Here we go. VIP. Welcome to the Warriors Quest Show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. My son, he's 11 years old, and he was at soccer practice last night. And granted, it's only practice, but nonetheless, super amped and excited that he got an assist to a goal. He passed the ball while he was playing soccer. Practice, albeit, but nonetheless, he got an assist last night. So I'm
Listen,
super excited about that. Yeah.
an assist in practice is more than I ever did in me playing baseball back in middle school.
All right. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, he loves soccer. He loves sports in general, but soccer is like his number one sport. He loves it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm super excited to get your story out. So what I'd like to do, and this is what I do for every special guest, is I'm going to put you solo, but you're still you'll still see me, but my screen will be pretty small and you can still hear me and I can still hear you. But what I'd like to do is have you kind of introduce yourself and have the not only my followers, but I'm streaming this live on 15 different social media platforms, and they'll have the opportunity after it's live to watch it on replay. So introduce yourself and just kind of give us an idea of where you're from, maybe where you grew up, if it's different than where you're from now or where you live now, and give us an idea of maybe along the way, how kidney failure happened, so to speak. Okay.
So hi, I'm Noah. I'm only 7 with this disease, and I'm from Connecticut, South Connecticut, New England. It's chilly here, hence the sweat jacket. I'm not at kidney failure yet, but my kidneys are losing function to the point where I have to meet with consultations and doctors to prepare for when that happens.
Okay. So your GFR, have they given you an idea where that kind of is fluctuating right now?
My GFR is around 26.
Okay. All right. So preemptive is good. I like preemptive. I've interviewed other kidney patients who are preemptive, where they just want to they want to have discussions, and they want to find out which route's the best to take, and that's good. Because the other side of this, Noah, is I've also interviewed almost countless other warriors who found out they had kidney failure in the ER. Okay. So, they didn't know they even had kidney disease. And all of a sudden they find out they have stage 5, right? Because they're in the ER, and so it gives you kind of a, when you're looking at it where you found out earlier, it gives you a little bit of planning, and that's good. So how, if you're 17 now, which is, man, so impressive, that you're, so mature and that you're trying to do things like this and be preemptive. But how old were you when you first were that you found out you had some sort of kidney disease?
My diagnosis was when I was 12.
Okay, okay. All right. Wow. 12 years old. So instead of going out and doing what other 12-year-olds are doing, you found out you had kidney disease or some form. Was it genetic, or tell me a little bit about how that happened?
All right, so we don't know whether it was genetic or caused by like a UTI because I have the genetics from my father that that are have kidney problems.
Okay.
But I also have like a long history of UTIs before I got diagnosed, so it's up in the air.
Wow. Wow. So it's still uncertain, and they haven't necessarily been able to pinpoint what may have caused that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and in this, when you were 12, what kind of discussions did they, have with you that, hey, we're going to do this, or we'd like you to do this so that we can slow it down? Uh, did they guide you in regards to maybe changing your diet or your exercise? What kind of direction did they give you back then?
So the kind of direction they gave me back then, so when I eventually got diagnosed, because the story on how I got diagnosed and why I got diagnosed is a story in itself.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess I really did not understand it when I was 12, 13. I can't accurately pinpoint it. It was in the 8th grade, 12, 13. But yeah, they kind of were like, yeah, you have something called chronic kidney disease. One kidney has a bunch of scarring and the other is dwarfed.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
Wow. That is wild. So, man, sometimes when I hear scarring, it's sometimes acute kidney, an acute injury, or sometimes it's scarred because of the FSGS or other things. But wow, that's wild. So, you know, and so they're telling you about this, and at a young age, I mean, 12. Um, I mean, I don't know. If I'm 12, I'm probably thinking, okay, all right, I'll take some medicine, and maybe I'll get better. I mean, what were they really frank with you, and then were your parents having you a little bit? Were they more frank with you than the doctor, or what kind of? I mean, I'm just imagining at 12 years old. Wow, what kind of a discussion that must have been.
so that discussion, I was the one that was being blunt and forward about it.
Okay, okay,
I was the one that kind of looked at the doctors and said, "Will I ever get better from this?" And they
uh
looked
huh,
at me and they go, "You can't fix the damage that's already been done, but we can try and prevent more damage." And that's how they explained it to me.
okay.
So I got started on meds, and obviously some of the meds aren't helping because I am looking for a new kidney. But
Okay, right, right.
yeah, I will say I did not really understand it when I was that young. I didn't understand. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like I'm 12, 13. All I'm thinking in my mind is, when's the next time I can go play Minecraft?
Right, right.
Oh crud, when's that homework assignment due?
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking. Not, my kidneys don't work.
Yeah, that's got to be just something that would be very difficult to grasp at such a young age like that. So, I mean, Minecraft would be something I'm thinking about at that age too, for real. Yeah. So, and then as you get a little bit older, so what you know, I guess what I'm trying to find out is maybe at that point, I don't know if it was stage 3 or stage 2, but what were the maybe physical, sort of how was it affecting you physically? Is it more affecting you now that you're at around 26% with your GFR, or have you had other, sort of setbacks where maybe you've had headaches or fatigue, and stuff like that before?
So I had a very rare, not want to say rare sign, but not a common sign of a chronic illness. I my kidneys were not filtering the acid that goes through them. So it's to get it out, it started seeping through my skin and causing dry skin and rashes, and it looked
Oh,
like eczema.
wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. In that regard, it almost reminds me of lupus. That is crazy.
I actually got tested for lupus.
You did. Okay. All right.
Because they kept swearing it was eczema. I went to dermatologist after dermatologist. I've
Yeah.
had eczema for as long as I can remember back. So who knows how long I've had kidney disease?
It could have been a symptom early on. Yeah.
Um, yeah. And it wasn't until like I used to see a pediatrician like once a month. They every time they put my blood pressure cuff on me, they like I kept getting high blood pressure readings.
Okay. I follow
And
you.
so my mom did some Googling, went back and forth and went and begged my GP to refer me to a kidney specialist.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So, skin conditions. So that's something that you've had to deal with. Um, and sometimes, what other warriors kind of say is that, especially when the GFR starts to get a little bit lower, and so maybe not at 20, 25, 26%, but let me ask you, are you experiencing any of like the itchiness that may be happening?
Um, like itchiness in general, I've never heard of that as like a symptom or like a symptom of this disease. But
All right, yeah. So sometimes, and it may be you may be a little bit higher with your GFR, where that may not be happening. But sometimes when the toxins are not being filtered correctly, you start to feel some itchiness and different things. Uncontrollable blood pressure is a sign of kidney disease. Yes, thank you. Want to give a shout out to my homeboy there, Jonathan Traylor from Hope with Jonathan. So Noah, a little side note here. So Jonathan Traylor is a kidney disease. He's a transplant recipient, and he was. I interviewed him on the Warriors Quest show, and this is like maybe almost. I want to say, man, 2 years ago, and after my interview, like 2 weeks later, he got a transplant. So it doesn't always work that way, Noah, but some it may, but not always. But it's yes, and so he's confirming what I just said. Itchy skin is another symptom, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. He's saying 2 years, right? I thought it was 2 years. Anyway, and after his transplant, he wanted to give back, and now he also does a podcast, a live broadcast called Hope with Jonathan, and so very good guy. And he's on TikTok, he's on YouTube. Great guy. Anyway, so anyway, everyone, I'm streaming this on TikTok, but it's with my mobile phone, and so I want to give a shout out to everyone who may be also watching on my TikTok live. But please, all right, don't be stingy. Please smash that share button. So right now, just as a recap, I'm interviewing Noah, and he found out at 12 years old that he had chronic kidney disease. Oh, and he says right here, Jonathan says he's following you on TikTok. Okay, very cool. And at right now he's 17 years old. All right, everyone, that's impressive. That all right to me that you seem so mature that at 17 years old that you're now trying to be preemptive. So kudos also to your your doctor, your transplant team, nephrologist, anybody else who's giving you direction, because sometimes that's unfortunately not the case. Sometimes people that I've interviewed, all right, sometimes they're given direction. Hey, you're going to go on dialysis right away, and they're not talking about preemptive, measures. So again, I think that's you probably, in my opinion, have a very good team. So um, how do you get along well with your doctor, and do you feel like he's giving you sound advice, or she?
Oh,
I should say just so
yeah,
you.
she's amazing,
All right, good,
like
good.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
She's always willing to sit down and talk with me. Like when it comes to like my test results or any questions I have. Like just recently I talked with my doctor because I am going into college, and yes, I'm not the legal age, but stuff happens. What would happen if I drank? Do I have to worry about that with my kidneys and stuff like that? So she's
Hmm.
always willing to sit there and talk with me. I love her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Again, man, it's. I think that's super cool because not everybody has somebody that they can bond with and connect with like that, and that's super good. I love that. So right now, are you? Are you doing anything, like right now we're trying to get the word out, and so I'm asking anybody else, who's watching this live right now, and anybody who may be watching this later as a replay to share this. But and so this is going to help, and I hope that we can get this in in front of somebody who's a potential living kidney donor. Um, with that being said, has your team talked to you about any other preemptive measures to find a donor? Anything else besides just asking for friends and family, so on and so forth? Have they talked to you about other things?
No, not yet. I already have gone through my family. Unfortunately, um, a lot of my family is not eligible due to
Okay,
health issues or health concerns.
I feel you. Yeah. So and that happens quite frequently because there's a statistic that I read today. It was surprising to me, but the more I thought about it, it's not as surprising as it should be. But only around, I think it was, there were two different stats that I looked at, but one said 3%, and then there was another stat that said 6%. But let's say between 3 to 6% of Americans are healthy. So think about that for a moment. Between 3 to 6% Americans are healthy enough to donate. Which, if you look at the grand percentage of that 3 to 6% with all of the people that live in America, there's still thousands of people that are healthy enough. But nonetheless, it's lower than I expected. Anyway, so what we got right here is I've got a great contact here from LinkedIn, because I'm also streaming on LinkedIn, and so I'm going to show this. I want to give a shout out to Tom Williams from Wealth and Health. He says right here that he's in Boulder, Colorado, which is near and dear to my heart, by the way, Tom. I was born in Aurora, Colorado. I'm not far away from Colorado right now, where I'm in Utah, northern Utah. I live in Hooper, Utah, which is near Ogden, Utah. So, Tom, I love Boulder. Um, been there many times. Very beautiful city. So it reads right here. I donated a kidney to my 17-year-old son. What a coincidence! Because right now, of course, Noah, you're 17. In 1987, though, so it's been a minute. He's doing great. They told him he could never have children, but he has two beautiful children. His daughter is a second year law school, and his son is just going, wow, awesome. Thank you, Tom, for watching, and thank you for commenting, because obviously if you are on LinkedIn, you know that more engagement means more visibility. So thank you for making this more visible by interacting and commenting right here. Thank you. That is so cool. So kudos to Tom. I'm going to bring that up one more time. Is that, of course, one would think, well, if I'm, a father, any father would do that. But nonetheless, not every father is healthy enough, like we just talked about. For example, there are things genetically that we have no Gesundheit. We have no control over, right? Like, for example, I've tried to donate multiple times, and I was going to say shot down, but I better not say that online. But I've been declined because I have high blood pressure. And it's because of my genes. My father had high blood pressure, and it's just runs in my family, so to speak. And so when you have something like that genetically that you can't control, it's not necessarily that sometimes happens. And so I just think that's remarkable that, that somebody like that has donated. By the way, my oh my gosh, let me ask Tom Williams, if you're still watching, because the comment that he left was pretty large, so I couldn't show all of it. It was cut off at the end. But it reads right here, my son has been head trainer for Tony Robbins for many years. Is that the motivational person, Tony Robbins? And if that is, please comment, Tom Williams, if that is the case, because that's pretty incredible. Tony Robbins is a great motivational speaker. Anyway, Noah, what do you think about that? That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Uh, I can imagine, and maybe this is another comment, Tom, you can make, Tom Williams, that can really make that relationship, between son and father pretty close, right? Pretty, top notch, and it would be cementing that bond, so to speak. I can only imagine, but that's really cool. Anyway, so friends and family, they've that hasn't worked out because of certain medical and health issues. So what I try to give everybody who comes on my show is I try to give you an extra opportunity to have some resources, and so I'd be super happy to give you some if that would help you.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, and don't worry about writing this down right now. I'll put in the links after the show's live, okay? But
All right.
one is the Kidney Search Foundation, and it's anybody else who's watching on TikTok or any of the other channels. You can write this down as well, or wait for the links. But it's kidneysearchfoundation.org, and it's a nonprofit organization. They're super helpful in that they provide promotional tools, advertising tools to help you search for a living kidney donor, and it's all free 99. It's all free. So, and which is really cool because not only someone who's 17, but anybody who has kidney disease, generally, I'm going to generalize, but you've got so many things happening that it's it isn't necessarily always available as far as disposable income. And so that's what I love about this organization is that they do this to really help people. So Kidney Search Foundation, super cool. Like things like a car magnet, not only the car magnet, but and it doesn't have to be, for you yourself, but maybe you get it for the main vehicle in your family, right? So it could be they also do like a car sign. So the one that goes in the back part of the window, so that if you're at a stop sign and someone sees the back part of your window, right? They see your, please call this transplant hospital. I need a donor, or whatever, however you want to phrase it. You be creative, but and then T-shirts. They also help out with a banner. So maybe you get permission at an elementary school or a high school to put in their chain link fence a banner, and it has your need for a living kidney donor in the hospital and the phone number. Anyway, so on and so there are so many different tools that they provided. It's all FREE, so it's a really cool nonprofit organization to help you with your living kidney donor search. Top notch. Um, the other one is really cool as well, but it's a design a t-shirt dot. It's design a t-shirt, and they give you 5 free t-shirts when you go to their website, and you get to kind of customize it and put in the name of the you could just put your name, the phone number to call, and you get 5 of those free t-shirts. And so you could be creative with this, but what I've said to other people is it's amazing what you can do, because if you just go to Target or Walmart, right? I mean, on a Saturday, that's a good that's a good amount of people, right? That are maybe in there, right? And if you wear a T-shirt that says "Please be my donor," then you can actually draw somebody's attention. And I have actually, I know somebody who was wearing a T-shirt in a Walmart, and this actually did happen, where somebody called it and became that person's living kidney donor. So it happens, But um, I don't know. I mean, not only a Walmart, but if there's a really good busy mall where you live, or let's say you go to a major sports arena, NBA, NFL, NHL, whatever, MSL, you know, hundreds of people, thousands of people in there. So anyway, you get the idea, right? It's just to kind of be a walking, billboard. All right. So here we go, Noah. Here's the Tom. Thanks for answering. So Tom puts right here, listen to this. Yes, he has been a head trainer for motivational trainer Tony Robbins. Now he is a business teaching public speaking. Wow, that is so impressive. That's awesome. So anyway, those are my two. Those are my two favorite. But the other one is the National Kidney Registry, and that's also a nonprofit organization. They they help with on a smaller scale with promotional items, but the National Kidney Registry is super good with giving. They give you like a microsite, so you could actually send people to a website to get more information. Right, it's a free microsite, and they also help with so many other different things, like they protect the donor. It's called the donor shield, and I won't go into too many details because I'm probably rambling a bit, but it's super cool donor shield, where if the donor needs more help, they have like a other people that have already donated previously that they can chat with, email with, talk to, and then, which is kind of cool. And the other cool thing is that the National Kidney Registry will protect the donor, that if they do become a donor for you, then and you're registered with the National Kidney Registry, then they'll provide up to $1,500, $1,500 a week for lost income, for the time that they're in the hospital, that they're away from, like in recovery from their, and they're not back working. I know it's not a lot, for someone who maybe has a family or whatnot, but it's still something versus nothing. Anyway, so those, I'll put all that information in the comment section so you can find those links. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, so tell me a little bit about your tell me a little bit about your support group that you may have. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, so on and so forth.
So, my biggest support person right now is my mom, definitely. She was so excited when I found out I was going to be on this show, but she's my rock. I've always leaned on her. She'll always try and reassure me, because there are those dark days where I start getting like existential about it, the depression creeping in. But my mom will always try and help me stave it away, and I love her for it. I also, my best friend, she helps me a lot when it comes to my migraines, or like the exhaustion I get from everything. She understands what not from experience, but she's really very understanding about like everything when it comes to it.
Okay. That's super cool. Because the sometimes it can be a little bit difficult for people who may not know somebody who has kidney disease, or they don't have it themselves, that it can be difficult for them to understand all the time that if something's happening, you don't feel well, that you've got to reschedule, and you can't go to a, I don't know, a movie or something if you're not feeling well, or this, that, or the other. So it sounds like you've had some people that are pretty sensitive and understanding about what you may be going through.
Yeah.
And so, what are some times maybe where you've had an experience where maybe it's gotten you down, and how has a friend or a family member helped encourage you and lifted up your spirits?
So, I get down about it a lot. I'm not afraid to admit it. It honestly is probably the fuel to my depression, but I'll get upset about it, because it make it I get the existentialism of it, like all the what ifs.
Right.
But like my mom, she, like, just recently I was in the car, and I suddenly, like, I was like really happy, and I suddenly, like, my smile disappeared, and I just started spacing out the window. And she knew I had a kidney doctor appointment that same day, and she, like, just puts her hand on my knee, and she goes, "Hey, it'll be okay, one step at a time."
Very cool. Yeah. And that's actually the part, Noah, that I really I think isn't talked about enough. And I'd like to see, if you would, anybody else who is watching, to drop a comment, because anybody else who may be watching right now knows exactly what I mean when I say this, is that the emotional side of this is, in my opinion, sometimes more difficult than the physical part of going on dialysis, or the headaches, insomnia, anemia, or other things. That emotional part can be very difficult. It causes a lot of anxiety, and then also depression. And those things are real, because it a lot of us, it's I want to give you I want to give you some props, because sometimes it's easy for us not to speak up and say that it does cause me some of this, and that it happens, because one of those things that we ought to talk about more is how we are mentally. Mental health wellness is so important.
Extremely important.
It really is. And it's not talked about enough. It isn't, and I really feel strongly, because I've been connected to so many kidney disease patients, that is indeed, in my opinion, if not the most important thing, it's got to be close to the most important thing to a kidney disease patient's sort of success, is trying to find balance, and trying to establish some sort of mental health wellness as much as possible, because it's not it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be again, it's a balance because it's not always going to happen every day. But so um, some what are some ways that you've been able to help, kind of balance that? There are things that some people enjoy doing, that helps kind of bring back, I don't know, what do you want to call them, dopamine, or serotonin. Some people find music, some people read a book, some people watch a movie, some people talk to someone. Counseling is great, of course. I strongly suggest anybody to talk to somebody, whether it's a real counselor or at least a parent or a friend. But so what are some things that you've done to maybe kind of help lift your spirits? I know, people have. I've even heard when I've asked this question, baking or cooking is one thing.
So I see a therapist regularly.
Very good, very good.
I try and take as much steps as I can to take care of my mental health. I also do listen to music as a form of therapy.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So you know, and seeing a counselor is a great thing. I've struggled with anxiety. I still struggle with anxiety because of past trauma that I've had. And so I do some things myself to make sure I'm grounded, so to speak, because um, there are triggers that I try to make sure that I am aware of, but um, I do some things myself. All right, so I'm gonna I'm going to thank Tom again for putting another comment up here. It's extremely helpful, and I like that. So he said, my phone number is 303 If you ever want to interview me or my son, my wife also had kidney failure, and we found her donor on Facebook. She's 75 now and doing great. Fantastic, Tom. So I will, I'll be in touch. I'll, I'll add your phone number and I'll message you and call you, and try to do that. I think that's awesome, and I appreciate you leaving that comment. Thank you. So the ups and downs, that emotional roller coaster is real. In fact, so Noah, the other side of it is not only the unknown, right? The because the fear of the of what's unknown, that mystery, that could be powerful for anybody, but especially when your life expectancy is kind of, in that equation. And some of the people that I've interviewed, they've they've done some different things to try to balance that. And one of them that has been extremely successful, that I'll share with you, and maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't, but they've been able to write things down, on a piece of paper, whether it's a journal or, and at first I thought this was kind of crazy because we live in a digital age, but I've been told that if you write something down, that somehow your brain, it remembers the words more than if you just type something, like on a computer or a mobile phone. Um, what are some things that, like that? Have you ever tried something like that, writing a journal or writing something down, your experiences?
I have tried writing. I also suffer with ADHD.
Okay,
So
okay.
writing is just not my
It's
thing.
not,
I'll get about three
yeah,
sentences
and
before I
then you're
drop
finished.
and
Yeah,
walk away.
right. And you're like, okay, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what kind of music, is something that you enjoy? What kind of music do you like to listen to?
I like to listen to a genre called lo-fi hip hop.
All right, lo-fi hip hop. I like that. Yeah.
My favorite band to listen to currently is called Arc Patrol,
All right.
and I just like their music that they put out. I also listen to a lot of like pop, but not
Hmm.
today's pop, like 2000s, like all like Green Day, The Offspring's Fall Out Boy.
All right. I like that. Yeah. So with the lo-fi hip hop, is there some trap in there, or is it just or just
It is like it's a trap from hip hop, but
uh-huh.
like the sounds from EDM as well. It's
Okay.
like the
Okay.
perfect mix of EDM and rap, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. It's a pretty good marriage that way. I like that. Okay. Very cool. So music can be super powerful. You know, it's music can inspire people. The cool thing that I found about music, just to give you an example, is that when I at work, we listen to music in the background. It's not too loud, of course, but I can be listening. My coworker that I work with, my colleague, uh, he speaks Spanish as a second language, and I speak German as a second language. But um, together, we'll go back and forth. Well, he'll play some Latin music, and even though it's in Spanish, right? And I can't understand all the words, I still can be moved by that music. And I may not know exactly what they're saying, but the music, right? The melody and what I'm feeling and sensing can still uplift me. And I just think that's
Music
powerful.
music is the true universal language.
It
That and food.
is, yeah. It is. I mean, there are a few things like that. I mean, the other one would be math. Math can be a different form of language, and we can, and you can express yourself with numbers. But music can be so uplifting. For example, all right, we, we can listen to some icons like Prince, right? We can listen to some other like the Rolling Stones, or we could listen to Green Day, and we can listen to oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. Billy Armstrong, is that his name? The lead singer of
Yeah,
Green Day. Yeah, we
Billy
can
Joe
listen to
Armstrong.
him. Yeah, and the thing that I the common denominator out of all of these really I'm going to give a shout out, by the way, while I see this, to Donna. All right, thanks for watching, Donna. All right, thank you so much for supporting me and watching this, because it helps, of course, Noah when I have people watching, and I appreciate that. All right, he says finally figured out how to get here. It's all right. I appreciate it. Thank you. So the common denominator, what I was saying, is that each one of these people, all right, generally, but all right, they have passion. And I think that's what resonates, and what I mean by I may not know exactly what the word someone is speaking when they speak a different language, whether it's Portuguese or Spanish when they're singing, but I can feel and sense the passion in the music, right? And that's what all, whether it's the lead singer of Green Day or Prince or Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. Okay, we I may not necessarily love Metallica, as an example, which, by the way, as an example, I don't. However, that's not my cup of tea, as some people say, right? That's not my thing. But what I do sense about Metallica and what I can appreciate is their passion. And I think that when you sense that, it can really, you can appreciate any sort of style of music, as long as you understand that that's real and authentic. Anyway, so uh, those are just some really cool things that we can do to kind of understand how we can find a balance. Because you're right, it's the one of those things that is one of the, if not the most difficult thing about having a chronic disease, is that fear of the unknown, especially when there's that life expectancy in the equation. So what I'd like to do is maybe just kind of talk about um, some ways to kind of alleviate that. And I know there's no surefire method, but one of the things that can help in any way, in anything that's mysterious, anything that's unknown, is to get more education. And that's what I'd like to do right now. But on the flip side, for the other person that may be watching, Noah, is that if somebody's watching right now who's a potential living kidney donor, and they they have also that fear. There's fear of, what will my family think if I apply to be a living kidney donor? And this can be a big deal because this has also happened. In fact, it's happened recently to one of my kidney patient friends. Is that they've had a living kidney donor who's going through the testing and then backed out. You know what I mean? And this is part of the emotional roller coaster that you can be on that high, right? The very top of that roller coaster, you think, man, this is great. I've got a living kidney donor who's going through testing. And then all of a sudden they back out, and then all of a sudden you start to go down the roller coaster ride again. So, and I know that we want to make sure that they have flexibility, that they understand that does happen. And so Donna's saying right here, I will tell you it was my choice and no one was stopping me. I love that. I just started talking, I was talking about passion just a moment ago, and that is real passion. You know, I'm determined, no one's stopping me. And again, and I just love authenticity, and that's so authentic. I love that, Donna. Thank you. So, Donna and I have we've I've gotten in contact with her on TikTok, and I appreciate her watching, and so appreciative of everybody in the kidney disease community. But I've been able to get in contact with a lot of good people on TikTok recently. But anyway, back to this: is that there's so many misconceptions. Um, what what is maybe the most common misconception that people that you've talked to, when they when you talk to them about your your health, and which may be the most common misconception you feel, or in your opinion, Noah, when you tell them that you have kidney disease, and what's the most common misconception about someone who's thinking about donating?
So when it comes to CKD, at least the biggest misconception or biggest thing I'll hear is, well, I'll explain I'm partially disabled. I only say partially because I'm still moving strong, moving fine. Nothing's gonna stop me. But everyone looks at me and they go, "But you don't look disabled."
Oh my gosh. Ah, so frustrating. Again, please, anybody who's watching, please, all right, please drop a comment. So if you're new, if you're just tuning in, I'm interviewing Noah, and Noah is he's a kidney disease patient who found out that he had kidney disease at age 12. All right, age 12, everyone. He's right now 17 years old. How impressive is that? So mature, in my opinion, for his age. And he's preemptively in the talks, and he's preemptively talking about things that he'd like to do before he has to go on dialysis. So again, super wise and mature, and it's super cool that his transplant team, nephrologists, and other people are doing that, because that doesn't always happen. Man, it's super frustrating when I interview somebody whose doctor says, when they're hovering like at anywhere from 20 to 15%, hey, we're going to put you on dialysis, and they almost rush you to dialysis. um, I, I've heard that way too often, and so this is refreshing, that somebody, you know that's a nephrologist, and your transplant team is not doing that. And so kudos. I really feel strongly you've got a pretty good team. That's good. So the living anybody who's watching right now, if you're a living kidney, if you're a potential living kidney donor, what does that mean? Well, somebody who's healthy enough, all right, somebody who doesn't have high blood pressure, somebody who doesn't have diabetes, somebody who may or may not be taking, medicine. It's hard for me to determine that. I'm not a doctor, but the easiest way to find out more information is to call the phone number that's scrolling across the screen right now. And the really cool thing is, again, is if you have questions, the transplant team can answer them, and also you can message, Donna, who's watching right now. Donna, who's watching, she can answer questions. And I also have many other living kidney donors who would be happy to answer your questions. And then the National Kidney Registry, again, that I talked about earlier, they have living donors who have donated already previously who can help answer questions. But so what I'd like to do is I want to have people understand what it would mean to you, Noah. What would it mean to you if after if you had a kidney transplant, what would that mean to you, and what would your life look like that you're envisioning?
I mean, what wouldn't that mean to me? Let's put it like that. That would mean at like astronomical amounts to me, because that can help me get like some of the symptoms away, like my exhaustion, my migraines, not having to carry a bottle of Tylenol on me because that's all I can take 24/7. But I would definitely be a lot more energetic, a lot more social, um, stuff like that. I don't have a lot of social energy because of this, and I'm hoping that once I do get a transplant, that I'll be a lot more social, a lot more energetic, a lot more willing to jump into things.
Nice. And you guys, this is his raw expression. And kudos for you coming on tonight, Noah. Seriously, big props, mad props for doing this, because it's not easy to talk about vulnerable, things like this. It's not an easy thing to do, and so I appreciate your candor, for being candid about what you're going through and allowing me the opportunity to get your story out there. I appreciate that. I myself, I I am so thankful to be able to do this, and for you to give me that opportunity. I'm honored. So I want to say thank you for doing that. But what I'd like to do before we end the show is I'm gonna put us. All right, I'm gonna take down this side chat. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna put this comment up here just one time before I do this. Here we go. So Donna's, it reads right here. I just returned from the Transplant Games of America in San Diego. It was amazing. I am so jealous, Donna. So jealous. I was at the Transplant Games of America when it was in Salt Lake City, Utah, 2018. I didn't, of course, participate because I'm not a donor or a transplant recipient, but I attended the games, watched the games, and interacted with people there. So I'm so jealous. And oh my gosh, here we go. Another Andrea. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Andrea has been on the Warriors Quest show. She's also looking for a kidney donor, and she is on dialysis currently. Thank you for watching. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so thanks for the comments, you guys. Could have listened to the stories all day. I know, I can only imagine. All of the stories are probably super inspiring, and so on and so forth. But anyway, so if you're tuning in now, okay, Noah is my special guest. He was diagnosed with with chronic kidney disease at the age of 12, and his GFR has been hovering around 26, 25%, and his he's in a preemptive discussions about what his future may be like. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this side chat screen off, and we're going to switch places here. It's going to be like musical chairs. I'm going to put me on the other, on your side. There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did that hurt? I'm kidding.
Ow.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a very goofy picture of me, and it is shout out time, Noah. So whom would you like to shout out? Any of your, I don't know, family members, friends, BFFs, homeboys, people that have been there, true and blue, people that are going to be with you till the very end, so to speak. Whom would you like to shout out?
First I would like to shout out my mom. Definitely her. For just being there whenever I needed help, need someone. Shout out my best friend Constance. Um, she's always there for me no matter what. And then shout out to a good friend of mine who lives in Australia who should be watching because I specifically sent him the link to the stream.
All right,
Shout out
all right.
my friend Leo.
All right. Well, if your friend's not watching, maybe your friend will watch it on replay. They can go to my YouTube channel, or they can find it on Facebook, The Warriors Quest Show. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and my handle is The Warriors Quest Show. So they can find me on pretty much any of those channels. But very cool. So Noah, I'm going to continue to share this. Of course, the way the algorithm can be our friend is that if we continue to comment, and I'm super thankful that for all of the comments so far, and all of the people that have shared this. All right, and please continue to do this because, all right, you know how we do. We come together, we unite as a kidney disease community, and we share this and we comment. We do what we can to bring this brother up, so to speak, so that Noah can get help and support and encouragement. So um, again, I'm gonna take off this corny picture of this cheesy picture of me with the headphones on saying shout out. I'm gonna take that off for a moment and put us just on a side by side right here. Hold on, here we go. There we go. So again, I want to say thank you for coming on, and I'm going to do my part. All right, I'm going to do my to continue to make this active. And the cool thing about keywords, hashtags, is that Twitter, and on my YouTube channel, this will be searchable, and hopefully the people that are finding hashtags kidney disease and other things, kidney donor, will be able to find this. But anybody else who shares this and comments will help this become more visible. And I want your story to continue to be visible because, man, seriously, at 17 years old, I'm super inspired by you. I am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seriously, I'm super inspired, and all I ask, it's just a small ask, is that, and there's a soft K on the end, not soft, that's a small ask. I want to put a K on there, but um, all I ask is, please, if you get a living kidney donor or a deceased donor angel at one point and you get a transplant, just hit me up. All right. And let me know about it so I can celebrate with you. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you again for coming on. And let's, I'm going to continue to follow you, and we'll continue to, of course, to follow each other on TikTok, and God bless you and everything you do. I appreciate you again. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.
All right, you guys. So we've heard from Noah, and if you haven't been necessarily inspired by his story, please, all right, go back to the beginning. Watch this on YouTube. All right, watch it on Facebook, where you can watch the replay, and go to the very beginning. His story is amazing. Found out at 12 years old, all right, that one of his kidneys had scarring, all right, and the other one was like malformed, or it wasn't as it wasn't the correct size. All right. And at 12 years old, this is what he's trying to grasp. If you can imagine, all right, 12 years old, how you're going to interpret this and how maybe adults were trying to communicate this to him. And now flash, forward just a little bit at 17. All right. How wise and mature he is. I've just interviewed this person, and so wise and mature. And so please share this for this special guest of mine so that we can get the story told, make this person feel visible. Because one of the things that, again, that I think is not talked about well enough is that many kidney patients, they don't feel visible enough. They don't feel like they're seen. And I want this person to be seen. I want this person to be visible. All right? So help me get that story out there. And please don't be stingy. Okay? Don't be stingy and help me share this. All right? Thank you so much for watching. I want to say thank you for the people that are watching on my TikTok live. I wish I had 3 hands where I could comment and reply to the questions and statements on the TikTok live, but I've got to be able to produce. I'm self-producing, so I'm moving all the buttons on my laptop. But thank you for tuning in on TikTok, and especially Yvonne, who's watching right now. I want to say what up to Yvonne. She's in the testing process to don't be a living donor for Britta. So I hope that everything continues to go well during your testing process, Yvonne, for Britta. Anyway, thank you for watching, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Super, super thankful for everything that you guys do to help me support kidney disease patients and get their story out there, because nothing is more exciting to me. Nothing gets me happier than when a kidney disease patient gets a transplant. All right. So I'm going to find that outro. Please continue. If you haven't already, click the subscribe or the follow button and help me get other stories out there as well. Okay. All right. Peace out. Where's that outro? Where is it? Bo.
Ooh, like LeBron though, or like Lonzo. Ooh, I'm a baller, yeah, shot caller, yeah. They love me, you can't touch me, nah, can't trust me. I'm too lucky. Look at me, look at you, what you see, what you do. Baby, please think it through, drink it up, enjoy the view. MVP on my crew, Nike on my shoes. Might be sipping booze, slightly feeling loose. If I want it, then I have it.